All right, what's going on, guys? We got the new Fleximounts GL1. This is a 4x4 foot garage ceiling lift. Pretty interesting design here, and I wasn't really sure what to expect opening the box on this. Pretty heavy here, and let's get this thing set up here. I'm really curious to see how well this thing works. Hoping the setup is actually pretty simple. From the diagram here on the box, it looks pretty simple. But let's get this thing actually installed and see how well it goes. It says, note when installing the wire deck frame, ensure the wire ropes are not tangled. That's obviously a good hint there. Of course, when this thing is being pulled up to the ceiling, you want to have these things actually not tangled, not messed up in any way. So that, of course, makes sense. Plenty of hardware in here. Looks like heavy-duty hardware to me. Locking washers are always a nice sight to see. Here's our lag bolts and washers for putting into the studs. I got a trigger I'll show you guys to find studs in the ceiling. Pretty easy to do. Ooh, nice. They do include an installation template, so this unfolds and it will tell you exactly where everything goes when you have to pre-drill the holes. This is nice. All right, so it looks like our first step here is going to be unfold the installation template. They have actually included tape in here, so you can tape it right to the ceiling. And of course, we are going to want to find a stud up in the ceiling here and be able to put it in the ceiling safely from there. So I'll be able to find at least 2 studs or joists running across the attic there, and then that is where we install basically the 4 pieces here with the included lag bolts. We got 2 pulleys. That's going to be your far side, and I got 2 anchoring sections here. And then you want to mark the mounting points with a pencil. Looks like very easy to do here. Then they're going to have you pre-drill for those. And let's see here. This all seems very straightforward here. All right, so I'm going to use a Franklin sensors. Love these little sensors here. They actually have multiple sensors here, and they can give you the exact width of the stud. I'll link in the description if you guys want to check one of these out. They are pretty sweet. All right, and bam, just like that, we are up on the ceiling there with the installation template. I can now pre-drill the holes and get the rest of it going here. Installation template is actually pretty easy to be able to map this thing out. I just mapped it out, and it hits each basically rafter, joist, whatever you want to call it, depending on the type of garage you're in. But it hits every joist with no problem, every stud there easily. So I'm basically lined up where I want to be, and I can go to the next step. All right, a little challenging to get that up there. I will say one trick is you want to make sure these long sides run along your trusses with you. I'm doing the side with the basically the crank side, this side. My pulley side is going to be that side. I'm also going to put the drywall screws up first, so I don't actually have to do any like crazy lag bolts right away. I'm going to start with drywall screws and swap them out later after I get it in position. So I'm going to put both sides of the pulley mounts up. Then I'm going to do the pulley mounts on that side, and I'm going to do the main crank side on this side. Okay, I've got all 4 sections up now. Now let's follow the next steps here, and I think I'm putting up this side first. Let's find out. Yep, we're installing the axle side now. So the gearbox is going to go in this direction, and we're going to feed that through the pulleys there. All right, now before continuing on, you're going to put these safety screws in here. They go on each side. Now that I've got this thing, it's basically stretched in the brackets. I can put that on there to hold the brackets in now, and then I can continue to the next step. All right, and finally, you got to pull out the lock right here, and then you can put the little tool here right on the gearbox. In there just like that. This piece then snaps on, and that is how you raise and lower it. You can also, you probably not recommend it, but you can also use a power drill attached to this too to make this go pretty quick. I want to pull this thing down and fix some of the wiring up here, make sure that's all nice and smooth. But I bought this to basically store some boxes up on this thing. I'm not really using it for a lot of weight. Now that I know this all goes together, where it's all at, I'm going to take this installation template down. I can then replace it with lag bolts up here to give it the full weight rating, and then tighten down all the screws and make sure I am good to go. Let's throw some boxes up here and see how it looks. All right, guys, so that is that. I can put boxes up there now. I have a 9-foot ceiling. That's the recommended height for this type of lift here. Not too bad. I will say the hardest part by far was getting these aligned with the template on the ceiling. easily the hardest, but make sure you use the template because once you get those in, it's super easy after that. The tricky part, of course, is putting this winch in here, and you got to make sure that this side is facing basically the little eyelet right there, facing that way. I put it in reverse on the first time. It will not go in. It will only go in a certain way, so make sure you do that properly. But other than that, this thing works fantastic. I think it's a really overall great design, really high quality hardware, really thick bolts on everything. So I'm gonna just take off the take some of the screws off, put on my really heavy duty legs now. Now I got it all set up. I know where it's all at now. Before I put any more load on it, I can put the nice lag bolts in. I can take off the remaining templates, and I am good to go. So guys, if you want to check this thing out, check out the link in the description. This thing works phenomenal.